Coming up tonight, parts of the Bahamas experiencing severe weather today, and Grand Bahamian police warning residents to stay put in light of the same. Plus, a juvenile has been shot and killed in the Camp Road area. And rain or shine, we're heading down to Long Island Regatta for the latest. This is our News Weekend edition. Good evening, all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepard. Severe weather is now a reality in some portions of the Bahamas. A tropical storm warning remains in effect for the northern Bahamas. Our Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with details. Greg, give us the latest.
Thanks, Megan. And of course, we're still tracking the system. Still turning across Central Florida. The center of circulation now moving across that area, and is expected to continue moving on that northeasterly path. Should move off of the coast of the eastern portion of Florida later tonight and into tomorrow. Once that does so, a lot of moisture still wrapping around that center, affecting most of the northwest Bahamas with some heavy showers and some rainfalls. We did have some significant rainfall in Grand Bahama, up to about 6 inches reported unofficially, and the rain pattern will continue throughout the night. But we expect by tomorrow morning, once the system pulls into the Atlantic, it's going to continue to move towards the northeast and away from us. But rain bands still associated with that will still affect portions of the Bahamas, the northwest Bahamas, pardon me, tonight through tomorrow, especially here in the capital. We could see some more showers affecting our area late tonight and into early tomorrow. Satellite view showing how things are really looking with that. Deep convection associated with the system across the Grand Bahama as well as the Abacos and Bimini. They got some very significant rainfall. There are some rain bands still lurking to the south across Cuba. That should swing across portions of the central, maybe even the southeast Bahamas by tomorrow. But we expect most of this activity to continue to pull out towards the north and east and away from us. This is how the track shapes up. That system now across central Florida will move off the coast of East Florida late tonight. By Sunday, it should be to the northeast of the Bahamas. As I mentioned, some rain bands affecting us, and it should quickly race off towards the north and east and away from us. So by Monday, we should be rid of this system with some trailing moisture, generating some showers across our area through balance of early part of next week. For the boating boating public, northwest and central Bahamas, we're asking you boaters to still remain in port. The winds are very strong out there, gusting up to tropical storm force. South to southwesterly winds at 20 to 30 knots. Your sea is very rough, 5 to 8 feet, and they will be up to 12 feet in those significant wind events. High tide will be at 15 minutes past midnight tonight. Here's a look now at the southeast Bahamas. Caution flag for you guys down there, southeast to south, 15 to 20 knots. Caution flag still for you, 4 to 7 foot seas expected. Those winds and seas will be gusting higher, and higher seas expected in showers and thunderstorms once those rain bands go through by tomorrow. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through next Saturday. We have at least a couple more hours to expect with this system once it gets out of here. Some showers and thunderstorms still in the forecast. Back to you, Megan.
As the island of Grand Bahama continues to experience localized flooding, police on that island are asking the public at large to refrain from traversing the streets unless necessary to avoid any incidents. There are still quite a few businesses opened, and they have been advised to take safety precautions. The public is advised that teams are mobile, particularly in the Western District, in the event of any emergencies. If you are in need of emergency assistance, the public can contact the police control room at 911 or 350-3013, or the fire department at 352-8888 or 350-3414. Meantime, a boy is dead after being shot multiple times Friday night. Police say ShotSpotter was alerted to multiple gunshots in the area of Williams Lane off Camp Road shortly before 8 p.m. The boy was transported to the hospital via emergency medical services, where he died. Police are actively investigating, and they are appealing to the public for any information that can assist in bringing this matter to a close. 107 full-time jobs announced for Grand Bahamians at Hutchinson Port Holdings. That coming from Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, who says Prime Minister Philip Davis and Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxey, have been discussing the issue with the port since January.
Prime Minister is happy to report that after talks with Hutchison Port Holdings, the company plans to engage those workers as full-time employees, those who they had on contract. To engage them as full-time, about 107 people will be hired full-time, bringing the ratio of full-time workers from 57% to now 75% full-time workers engaged. It is expected that with further negotiations, that number will increase to 85% by next year.
Watson says employees and companies throughout the country can expect more benefits.
Bahamian workers can ensure that if they have an equitable part in a company, that it's beneficial to them. So you're going to see more of that happening. Interventions by the government, interventions by the Prime Minister with companies where there may be issues where workers are being decategorized to casual or contractual, and it's benefiting the companies more than it is the people. Prime Minister's hope is to reverse that and ensure that Bahamians who are employed at local companies can have a future and a secure future with employment and benefits as well, not just working.
The cost of a community center and hurricane shelter in Abaco has jumped by nearly $1 million. The project began in 2020 under the Minnis administration, but earlier this week, the Davis administration signed an agreement with the United Nations Development Program for a $1 million donation to restart construction of the Abaco facility. The project was initially slated to cost around $1.8 million. According to DRA Executive Chairman Alex Storr, other associated costs brought the cost to somewhere between $2.5 million and $3 million.
With support from UNDP through their facilitation of a $1 million donation from the Government of India, the continuation of this project is possible, making it tantamount to helping the people of Abaco to be better prepared for such disasters. Many mistakes were made after Dorian, but we would have failed the people of Grand Bahama and Abaco twice if we had not learned from those missteps. We are grateful to the support from the Indian government and the UNDP to continue the construction of the center. It would have been a bit more difficult without their involvement, so their contribution is received with gratitude and appreciation.
Storr says the government is aiming to complete the shelter by the start of the 2023 hurricane season. The Minnis administration broke ground on the community center and hurricane shelter in Central Pines in December 2020. In December 2020, then Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said the structure would be designed according to the Bahamas Building Code with a wind rating of 180 miles per hour. UNDP President Representative Denise Antonio says UNDP's engagement with the government following Hurricane Dorian is ongoing.
We are indeed heartened by the progress of recovery efforts being undertaken by the government of the Bahamas, despite the negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic, especially in the Abaco and Grand Bahama Islands, which were already impacted by Hurricane Dorian. We celebrate the positive and long-lasting relationship of our partnership with multiple stakeholders within the government, academia, and civil society over these last 2.5 years.
Still to come on our news, a Bahamian team is off to compete in the Special Olympics. Russia continues to shell Ukraine. Our Foreign Affairs Minister weighs in. That's coming up when our news returns.
Got size at 6'5". Hi, this is Shamika.
Welcome back. Unforgettable moments for members of the Bahamas' Special Olympics team as they prepare for the Special Olympics 2022 USA Games. Our Christina Dragovich speaks with some of the athletes before games this weekend.
Congratulations, Austin, Mr. Big Stuff Green. You are going to the Special Olympics 2022 US Games in Orlando, Florida in June 5th to the 12th, 2022. Wow, definitely. I'm going. What? Yeah.
Austin Green will represent the Bahamas in bowling and recalls having to train on his own during the pandemic.
The goal is to get the gold medal. If I don't medal, at least let me get at least a medal. I did my little stretches. I do a lot of walking. And I try to eat less food to stay in shape, just to be, to be prompt for this. And then I left my little weight just to keep my strength, to keep me going at this time.
Stephen Russell will also compete in the games in the sport of bocce. While it's similar to bowling, Russell says it comes easily, and he's looking to make the Bahamas proud.
I'm looking forward to being able to compete. I'm looking forward to seeing new players, new challengers to face, to see if I could win, to see if I can bring the gold home.
It will be a magical experience for many of the athletes, according to National Director Gilbert Williams. But he says none of it would have been possible without corporate sponsors and donations.
We have a number of athletes who, for the first time, they will actually be traveling to the U.S. And then secondly, this is obviously going to be their first time at Walt Disney World. So this is a fantastic opportunity for our athletes, not just to compete internationally, but to experience a couple of firsts.
The athletes say they're also looking at the big picture and how Special Olympics athletes are supported here at home.
Just recognize what can we do, and recognize it. Like if I read athletes, if they do well, at least they say, let's give them a property or some money and stuff, just to say, man, they did it. Or at least put our picture, at least in the airport, like how they have all the Chris Brown them line up. That's what I'm looking for.
I want these Bahamians to look out for Special Olympics, because we are going to the USA Games and we are going to win big. We are going to bring the gold home, and I'm hoping that we'll get a big celebration when we get back home.
Reporting for our news, I'm Christina Dragovich.
Although thousands of Ukrainians have been killed and many cities in that country have been flattened by the constant shelling, ironically, the Kremlin is still calling the invasion a special military operation. In recent days, Russian forces have gained significant ground in Ukraine's eastern Donbas, and the UK's Ministry of Defense is reporting that they now control more than 90% of the region of Luhansk. Our news caught up with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell, who gives us the Bahamas' view of the situation.
The Bahamas has decided that it is on the side of the Western countries with regard to what is happening in Ukraine. We've issued a statement along with our CARICOM partners that it is improper, unlawful for the Russian state to have invaded the Ukraine, and all of the damage and death and destruction that is going on there, we deplore. We deplore it in the strongest terms. And we've taken measures here in our own country to seek to show that we support that side by ensuring that those persons who are sanctioned individuals by the Western countries are unable to use the Bahamas as a place for their assets to be parked. So that is why we are where we are.
Minister Mitchell wishes the people of Ukraine well.
We hope that the people of Ukraine are able to rise above this and to be able to continue as a sovereign state. And we believe, of course, in the principle of self-determination. And this is against all of those principles. So that is where we are lined up.
When our news comes back from the break, our Candino Knowles is still having an amazing time down south in Long Island. It's regatta time, and a local dance school needs your help. We have the details when our news returns.
Got size at 6'5". Hi, this is Shamik.
Welcome back. The last of the races in the Long Island Regatta wrapping up tonight, and our Candino Knowles, who has been on the island since the start, tells us that the influx of visitors the races have brought has the island's representative, who was on the ground yesterday, excited about its success.
Bahamian music. Lots of dancing. Slow wines and fast wines. And lots of beer. This flyby over the site sending the crowd wild as the frolicking continuing into the close of the 53rd annual Long Island Regatta.
It's just good vibes. It just shows off like Bahamian culture. It's just always a good vibe, positive vibe. You feel like home. Even though I'm not from here, I just always feel like it's like home.
We came all the way up until COVID and we haven't been here since. So it's been so nice to get back here and just experience it, and the fact that it is packed is amazing.
Did you expect to see this much people?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. You know, and it's good. It's good to be back home.
This is wonderful for us. This is the boost we need at this time.
Long Island Member of Parliament Adrian Gibson is at the center of controversy over an investigation into his time as chairman of the Water and Sewerage Corporation. But his focus this weekend, a good time and the revival of his island's economy.
You know that we had lacked a bit of an economic boost for the last 2 years given the COVID-19 pandemic, and the fact that we weren't having these kinds of cultural and social exchanges where people get together, come in and spend money. So for us, this is an economic boost. Businesses are really doing well. Car rented, hotels occupied, restaurants selling out.
Other notable names and faces in the crowd of natives and visitors, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham, one of them, enjoying the sights and sounds. Opposition and Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard also showing up to support the return of regatta.
The last time I was here, I was Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, presiding over the regatta, and happy to be in support of the regatta committee. Unfortunately, we had the pandemic, but certainly two things that stood out to me was really the kind of camaraderie that is at Long Island's regatta, and the fact that it is fully indigenous. It's clear that people were looking for an opportunity to get out after an extended period of COVID and lockdowns. So this is absolutely wonderful.
F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands also not missing out.
It's regatta, right? It's regatta. How do you feel about being on Long Island after this 2-year hiatus?
It's an amazing feeling. All you need to do is look around. Crowd's having a good time. It's good to be back in Long Island.
What are you looking forward to the most out of this regatta?
I think it's the camaraderie. It is being able to see people that you haven't seen, to fellowship, to laugh, to enjoy that Long Island mutton. I just had some. You know, you can't get it anywhere else.
How was it?
It was excellent. It was tender. It was seasoned well. I enjoyed it. And the conch fritters, not to be messed with.
The races are done and the winners have taken home the cash and prizes, but the food and fun continues as this island records a successful return to regatta. Its impact on this island's economy expected to be felt for weeks and months to come. Reporting from Salt Pond, Long Island for our news, I'm Candino Knowles.
35-year-old Alexio Gibson making waves on the hit television show Shark Tank. Gibson is the CEO of Transformation Factory, a CMOS company, and recently made a deal with the Sharks for a 20% buy and $600,000 investment.
CMOS is a supermarine algae that grows in our oceans, and
what better place to grow that than in the Bahamas in our super clear waters? It has 90% of all the essential minerals that our human bodies need to function. So for our women, it helps boost estrogen, take care of their skin, hair, and nails, also increases fertility in both women and men. For men, it boosts up our testosterone, helps us to recover quicker after the gym, and it builds everybody's immune system and it keeps everybody very safe, especially in these scary pandemic times that we're currently having.
As to what separates his company from the others in the market,
I used to work for NASA before I started my own business, so our product has been tested by some of the best food scientists in the world to make sure that everyone's safe from heavy metal consumption, make sure that all the minerals we claim that it has it. And then our process into making it into a gel, we made it very delicious. It's almost like applesauce, like a baby food consistency.
The native Grand Bahamian recently met with the nation's prime minister to celebrate his recent success. Gibson notes that currently sea moss has to be imported into the country. He says his goal is to establish sea moss farms locally.
The Bahamas is not a part of that conversation, so I greatly want to change that and actually start growing sea moss on the islands, which will open up jobs for our Bahamian people, but also will alkalize our waters. So sea moss helps our oceans to clean itself. It alkalizes the water. It gives refuge for a lot of fish that lives around coral. It's just an all-around win for everyone, our ocean life, us as humans, and our economy, because it'll bring something new to the island that's not dependent on tourism, that we can now ship all over the world to companies that's buying sea moss in mass quantities.
He explains the economic potential.
We have beauty brands, dog food, all kinds of companies that use an extraction from sea moss called carrageenan to thicken their product and to preserve their foods all over the world right now as we speak. So the market is already there. Us personally, we have close to 300,000 customers that buy our gel in the United States, but outside of consumers that's just buying retail, there are wholesalers that want sea moss in large quantities that we'll be able to supply as Bahamians. And imagine us supplying the world with sea moss that says made and grown in the Bahamas. Currently, we don't have that, and I think it'll be a great honor and a great thing to bring that here.
A dance school is asking for sponsors and donations to help 10 dancers leap onto the international stage. Janae Winter gives us more in this story.
I feel the experience would help us to better our technique, learn technique under new choreographers, and build connections in the dance world.
$60,000 is the estimated cost for 10 dancers from W Squared Dance Club to attend the renowned Debbie Allen Dance Summer Program. The dancers were accepted to the Elite Academy in April. Dance coach Whitley Aubrey Sterling wants to give her dancers the opportunity and exposure to train under Debbie Allen.
I believe that they are very, very disciplined, very focused dancers. I believe that they have a great future ahead of them. And I just feel as though that this program would offer them the exposure that they need. This experience would allow them to see dance in a broader aspect, and they would be able to realize that, hey, I can do dance and be successful and be financially stable.
W Squared dancers are already decorated with the awards from the National Art Festival. Dancer Brianna Ingram virtually attended the summer program last year and believes her team has what it takes.
I think we work really hard for it. We're not just a dance team just to go places. We're actually a family. We stick together. I think we can get scholarships, for sure. We are amazing dancers, I believe, with each other, because we believe in each other, and I'm pretty sure Ms. Allen will see something in us.
W Squared is a non-profit organization funding all of the dancers, which Coach Sterling says is rare in the dance world. That's why, she says, sponsors play such a key role.
A sponsor would definitely help their dreams, obviously, to come true. This trip is very expensive. Of course, this is Los Angeles. So the cost of living, the cost of the program itself, because it's Debbie Allen, it's all very expensive. And we got, these girls, they got accepted in April, right? And so the time between April and July to find $6,000 odd per dancer, that's really difficult.
For those who may want to donate and sponsor in other ways, here's how you can help.
We are having a dance concert that is coming up. It's a fundraising concept. It's called Dance Eruption. They can, if you want to be a sponsor that just is very, you can't do much, but you want to do something, you can simply buy a ticket. The ticket is $15 for Dance Eruption. That's happening on June 4th at Bahamas Harvest. If you would like to simply sponsor the girls in that you are one of those persons who provide them with the uniforms that they need for the trip or the leotards that they need for the trip, if you don't personally just want to give money, if you have a t-shirt company or anything like that, we'd greatly appreciate that as well.
Reporting for our news, I'm Janae Winter.
Thanks, Janae. We wish the dancers of W2 much success. Sarah Jean Joseph is up next with another spectacular arts and entertainment segment, A Drummer with Big Dreams. That's coming up when Weekend Edition returns.
Got size at 6'5". Hi, this is Shamik.
Welcome back. Leslie Smith is a 20-year-old percussionist marching to the beat of his own drum, now forming his own band, the Leslie Smith Quintet. Join our Jean Joseph as he catches up with this young musician at his band's debut performance at Bon Vivant's.
Hi, my name is Leslie Smith, and I'm a drummer from the Bahamas, and I love music.
Leslie Smith's love for music led him to study music performance at Talladega College after a start at the University of the Bahamas. Now he brings all of his experiences together, commissioning his own band with Tish Cunningham, Mansa Campbell, Cyril Thompson, and Christophe DeVoe. The Leslie Smith Quintet's first performance was a stunning showcase of musicality.
Well, tonight I'm having my first headlining show with my band, the Leslie Smith Quintet. This is the first time that I've formed a band, that I've picked songs and, arranged music, and actually took all the ideas that I've been putting together for some time and putting the people together and actually making it happen. So this is it right here. This is the beginning of a long journey. This is it right here. It starts now.
Smith, now a junior, has been mentored by local musical godfathers including Neil Simonet, Adrian D'Aguilar, and others. But like many before him, his upbringing in the church serves as the foundation for his love of music and performance. Still, his musical taste widened once he was exposed to different genres and started to explore more contemporary sounds.
I grew up in church. I've been going to church my whole life, and so I started playing gospel, but then when I went to college, I started listening to more of like R&B and hip-hop jazz, like Roy Hargrove, and like some Kanye West. Kanye West is one of my inspirations, and when I started going to jazz ensemble class with one of my mentors, Neil Simonet and Adrian D'Aguilar, I started to get into more of jazz kind of stuff.
Smith's preparation is paying off, and at this rate, he is well on his way to fulfilling his dreams of becoming a touring musician. And though living on the island may seem to be a hindrance to some, he wants to encourage others to follow their dreams and share them with the world.
I want to bless people with my inspiration, with what I feel inside of my heart. I love music. I have music runs through my veins. It's in my heart. It's in my mind. And I just want to perform. I want to perform for people. I want to bless people. I want to inspire people. The sky is the limit, like just keep on reaching for the sky, doing what you got to do. You can go wherever you want to go. The world is at our fingertips. The world is at our fingertips. It doesn't stop in the Bahamas.
And here's a taste of the vibes Leslie and his quintet threw down at Bon Vivant's. With your arts and entertainment news, I'm Jean Joseph. Enjoy.
Thanks, Jean. Definitely a band to keep an eye out for. Thank you so much for joining us for our News Weekend edition. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Although a wet one, continue to enjoy your holiday weekend.